What's up? What's up? What's up, Facebook fam? It is Tuesday, and you know what goes down here on Tuesday? Wife Chat goes down here on Tuesday. So do me a huge favor. Make sure that you're hitting the share button and letting all my one sexy wives know that Wife Chat is going down on here. And I hope you guys enjoyed your long weekend. For those of you who got a long weekend, it was much needed, I'm sure. For me, I had the pleasure of traveling and going to Memphis to see my extended family and to see my dad. I had a really, really good time over the weekend. And so, again, you guys, thank you so much for hitting the share button. And thank you so much for letting all my one sexy wives know that Wife Chat is going down. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Make sure that you're putting where you're listening from, what state you're from in the chat. I'd love to hear from you guys. And again, I hope you enjoyed your weekend. I hope you had a long weekend. Some people had to work yesterday and some people was off. But hopefully you got a chance to, relax. Like I said, me and my husband, we went to visit my dad. We surprised my dad this weekend and went to Tennessee. And so it was good to get away. It was kind of rough getting back because Southwest was canceling and delaying flights and stuff like that. But, we got home. So I was grateful for that. Again, you guys, thank you so, so much for joining me here on Wife Chat. Make sure that you're putting in the comments where you guys are listening from and all that kind of stuff. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Um, uh, Hi Tyra, how are you? My flight was canceled too. Yeah, it is. It is crazy. Hope you enjoy your time with my dad. I did. I really, really enjoyed my time with my dad. We surprised him. I had told him that I wasn't going to be able to make a celebration, and I've never seen my dad cry. But when I walked through the door, my brother had surprised him, and then when I walked through the door, he lost it. So it was well worth it and stuff like that. I had to move some things around, but it was definitely worth me going to surprise and honor my dad. But again, you guys, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you guys for hopping on. And so tonight, this chat comes from a wife from Tacoma, Washington. And her question was, why don't I want to have sex with my spouse? And I think if we've been married for any length of time, or, we just be open and honest, all of us have been in a space where we have struggled to have sex with our spouses. And there's many reasons. And of course, there's thousands and thousands of reasons why you might be struggling to have sex with your spouse. But tonight I'm not going to even talk about the reasons. I'm going to try to see if I can give you some solutions on some things that you can do. And again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you guys. And when it comes to sex, women and men really think a lot differently, right? Men are more visually stimulated and physically stimulated than women are. With us, we're emotionally stimulated, and when it comes to affection and trust and reassurance. And so that right there already separates us from women and men, right? Because they're visually and physically stimulated. With us, I mean, he can be physically attractive, but for us, most of the time, we need some affection outside of the bedroom. We need trust and we need reassurance in order for all of those things to work. And I like to say that men are definitely like waffles and we're definitely like spaghetti, because if things are going right outside of the bedroom, if we find it much easier to engage sexually inside of the bedroom. With men, it doesn't matter, because they can have an argument with you outside of the bedroom, and then 5 minutes later they can sleep with you, and it doesn't make any difference. With us, we don't process like that, because 90% of us is all mental, and only 10% of us is physical, right? And so we have to learn to empty our minds and switch our thinking and turn off all the stuff that we had going on throughout the day. It's a process for us where they're wired totally different. And so when it comes to why it's so difficult, I really want to talk to you guys about why it might be difficult for you to have sex with your spouse, right? Needless to say, if it's nothing physically going on with you, like menopause, vaginal dryness, fibroids, sexual trauma from a childhood situation, or physical or mental abuse that has not been addressed, all of those things can impede a woman in order for them to have problems in the bedroom. But if none of those things are a pressing thing for you, and it's just that it's become a chore for you, then let's look at the difference and what you need to do in order to start that process. And again, it takes a lot of work outside of the bedroom for us in order for magic to happen inside the bedroom. And like I said, I had the pleasure of speaking to this wife from Tacoma, Washington, and I told her that I was going to address her questions. And again, it's so many things that play a part in us being able to perform sexually and really enjoy it and be in the moment and turn our brains off and all of the things that come along with it, right? It's a lot, So if you're dealing with financial things and stressful things, dealing with parent, having to take care of a parent, young children, if you live where she lives, which Tacoma, Washington, in that area right there, it rains a lot. So a lot of people deal with depression, and all of these things can play a part, again, with not being able to rise to the occasion in the bedroom. And so the first thing that you want to do is really have a open and honest conversation with yourself about what is the hindrance and what is keeping you in that space. And you need to have the conversation and be open and honest. And I journal a whole lot, but you want to sit down and write down what is your pain points that's keeping you from not wanting to perform, and be so brutally and open and honest with yourself, because the hardest person to lie to is yourself. So start there. Start with having a conversation with yourself and say, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I need help with the kids. The commute is killing me. Whatever that is, be open and honest and write it down, right? Because the next step that you're going to do is you're going to have a open and honest conversation with your spouse. And you want to start off by saying, I really want to sexually please you. I really do, right? Because 90% of us really want to sexually please our spouses. But here's the reason why I'm struggling in this area, right? And then you're able to be able to name them and not be all over the place. Because again, men process information totally different from us. And if you're rambling all over the place, you're going to lose him. But if you have a very clear-cut answer for why you're struggling, then he's able to track with you, and he's going to be able to listen to you, and you guys are going to be able to come up with some solutions, right? Because with those problems that you're stressing out, you're stressed about this, or you're stressed about that, you're overworked, you need help with the kids, or whatever that is, then you want to try to come up with some solutions along with him. You want to say, these are the situations, and here's some things that I believe will help me be able to rise to occasion at night or in the morning, or whenever you guys want to engage in sex. But if you don't know, it's hard for him to help you. Or if you don't know what your needs, your wants, or desires are, it's very hard for him to even listen to you. So make sure that you have that conversation, right? And then the other thing you need to know, which I find that a lot of women are struggling in. That's the reason why I wrote the book, Keep Your Legs Open, A Woman's Guide to Sexual Satisfaction, is because a lot of times we don't know what really satisfies us sexually. And if our spouse is not arising to the occasion and you're not getting your sexual needs met, then that also becomes a chore. But again, let me just be very brutally honest. A man only knows what he has experienced with another woman. And I don't care if you've been married 33 years, if you've never told your spouse what your needs, wants, or desires are sexually, he's going to only do what he has experienced with another woman, what he has seen on TV and thought that was hot and heavy, or what him and his boys have talked about and he heard it worked for them. So again, you have to be the GPS to your pleasure. And if you don't know what pleases you, then again, that becomes a chore. And that's the reason why you're sexually unsatisfied as well. So you have to understand and be able to articulate your needs, your wants, and desires. And my biggest thing with that is make sure you do it outside of the bedroom. Do not do it inside of the bedroom, for the simple fact is that it's going to cause stress and it's going to be like you're dictating in the bedroom, right? It's nothing wrong while you're on a date, or it's nothing wrong while you're like, you know what, let's play this game. I want to play a physical touch massage game, and show him and guide him to your erogenous zones. And if you don't know them, you need to find them out, because again, you need to be able to be your GPS to your pleasure. Okay. Number 3, you need to check back to the history. You need to go back to the place where you guys were both being sexually satisfied, right? And create that atmosphere. A lot of times we fall off, and we fell in love, we was having great sex, but life has happened and we have allowed life to take over, and we don't go back to that place where we was being sexually satisfied. And if you can't identify that point, go back and say, I want to create this. Again, you have to be the creator of your satisfaction, right? Because again, if you're in that space and you don't know where it went astray, you're never going to get back on track. But you have to sit down and pinpoint, where did it go astray, and how do I get it back, right? And it is very important for you to be able to identify this, because again, you don't want to stop engaging in sex with your spouse on a consistent basis because everything is just out of order. It's just not healthy. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for him. It's not healthy for your marriage. It's really not. Again, if there is no health issues there or whatever, but if there's some health issues going on, you need to sit down and have that conversation. Do not pull away and just not engage and not tell them what is going on with your health, because again, they're your spouse, they're your partner, and they're supposed to be able to ride and rock with you and support you when it comes to your health. Okay, let me drink some water. Number 4, we just talked about that. Rule out any medical conditions. And if you're suffering from any kind of medical conditions or stuff like that, with menopause and all those kind of things, I have written all kind of ebooks that can help you with that. If you have a spouse that's dealing with erectile dysfunction, I have books on my website as well for that, because a lot of things that you can introduce into your diet, some exercises you can do or whatever to help you with that. You don't always have to go straight to the doctor, but again, if things persist, you do need to go visit a doctor. But if you are experiencing vaginal dryness, 99% is if you increase your water and get yourself a really good water-based lube, that will take care of it. Again, if you're experiencing painful sex, it might be that you might need to introduce a sex pillow to help with your core. It's a whole bunch of different things that you can do outside of the bedroom in order to make, like I said, if you're experiencing some things, knowledge is key. And again, I've been doing this work for over 18 years. So again, I have addressed a lot of personal things in a lot of my books that I've experienced, because at 38, I had a total hysterectomy. And so I understand what it is to be in menopause very early when my age was not there, right? And so again, I am a person that is not going to be suffering. I'm going to go get the information. And I have put information in ebooks and books and stuff for you guys to not have to suffer. And number 5, speak and spell out exactly what your needs are. Spell it out to him, because again, they are not mind readers. Your spouse is not a mind reader. You have to spell it out to them and say, this is why I'm struggling. Because a lot of times when you keep saying no, they just think that you don't desire them. They don't understand that there's other factors going on in your life, right? Because they have things going on in their life as well. And the thing is that communication can repair, can restore anything that you have going on in your marriage. It can. But you got to create that space where you're able to talk, right? And you're able to explain and not be all over the place. Because again, men's process information totally different from how we process information. And so again, I pray that with this wife, that I open the door and allow you to see that you can have a healthy sex life, right? But you're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to identify what is keeping you from wanting to engage in sex. And again, I can only cover so much in these teachings, but again, if you're overwhelmed, if you're stressed, if you're hurt, if you need an apology or whatever, you have to be that GPS to your pleasure. And so again, I pray that this was a help for that wife. If you guys have any questions that you want me to answer, I am definitely an open book. You can inbox me, you can email me if you don't want to ask the question here. Again, I love you guys to pieces. Make sure that you go visit my page and sign up for Bringing Sexy Back to the Marriage. It's going to be held in Germantown, Maryland. I would love to see you guys. I have only a limited amount of spaces because I want to make sure that, my conference usually is over 200 wives, but I'm narrowing it down to 80, and we only have 70 spots now. I think it's less than that now, but I don't want you to miss this opportunity, because I do want to see you guys live. I want to be able to hug your neck, and we're going to have an amazing, amazing time. And so, if you guys don't have any questions, I love you guys to pieces. I'm here every single Tuesday. And like I said, if you need to talk to me, I have a free 15-minute consultation on my website. You can schedule the time that's most convenient for you. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just want to see you guys win in your marriages. I really want to see you win in your marriage. And so again, I love you guys to pieces. If there's nothing else, I don't see that there's anything else. I will see you next time.